Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and in today's segment I want to discuss with you how to take care of your family with regards to pneumonia. In the words of Granny Clampett, pneumonia when it strikes. Okay, so here's the thing. Most of the pneumonia caused in the United States is going to be either bacterial or viral, and most of the time it's going to be bacterial. Okay, I'm going to focus on that. Viral pneumonia tends to happen to folks who are a little bit more immunocompromised. It is more rarer than bacterial-borne pneumonia, so that's what I'm going to focus on. So bacterial pneumonia. Okay, bacterial pneumonia kills a lot of people. It has killed quite a few people throughout the expanses of time. Respiratory diseases in general kill a lot of people, but pneumonia is especially a killer of the very young and the very old. All right. And also I would add the immunocompromised. So anybody who's got any sort of long-term chronic disease, pre-existing conditions, reactive airway, anything like that, okay, somebody's going to be more inclined, more predisposed to get pneumonia. Okay, so let's explain pneumonia a little bit and why it matters and what we can do about it. So here's pneumonia. When you have a respiratory infection that starts kind of up here, a lot of people get cough, cold, bronchitis, something like that. All right, a bacteria, a malevolent nasty, makes its happy home in your upper respiratory tract, and instead of being banished promptly by your immune system for whatever reason, it tends to migrate and it tends to go down into the lower respiratory tract. With pneumonia, what you have is inflammation and pockets of nastiness, okay, so fluid that sits in the lungs, in the bottom of the lungs generally, okay, and fluid in the lungs isn't particularly a happy thing anyway, but this is the issue with pneumonia, okay. Pneumonia, especially when left unchecked, it covers up the little cells in our lungs called alveoli, and alveoli are responsible for harnessing oxygen from the air we breathe and shoving it into the bloodstream. Now you're seeing where the problem lies, because if my alveoli, think of it like a door that somebody's standing behind pushing open, like you're trying to get into your home, your door, and somebody's standing there putting their hand by the door and you're like, let me in, let me in, let me in. That is what it's like for your little alveoli when they're covered up with fluid, okay? The oxygen from the outside air is like, let me in, let me in, and the fluid that's making, your alveoli not open up is like, no, we're not going to allow oxygenation into your bloodstream. Okay, so that was the pathophysiology of pneumonia in a nutshell. Here's what we do about it. Number one, prevent it. Prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. With your folks in your group, we need to make sure that we're taking care of the people in our care. We're taking care of their nutritional needs. All right, vitamin D is a big one on this list. And go figure, pneumonia tends to really hit hard in the winter, when people's vitamin D levels are lower. Because where do you get vitamin D? Primarily from the sun hitting your skin. And fancy cascade of stuff happens and voila, you have vitamin D in your blood. When you don't have the sunshine in your life, you don't tend to have as much vitamin D. So that's part one. Make sure the people's vitamin D is supported in your group, okay? Another thing to consider is the whole care of the person, that we are feeding people high quality fresh fruits and vegetables, etc. This is a problem when we're looking at eating long-term stored food, because by necessity, that food, in order for it to last and have lovely shelf lives in the double digits that we like to see, it has to be what? Dead. Okay, this is how I bridge the gap with my stored foods and make sure that I am propping up nutrition. This is Green Vibrance. It tastes like liquid lawn trimmings. I highly recommend putting it in some sort of fruit juice smoothie, but it is chock full of goodness. I'll put a link in the description box below. This is what I use to patch the holes, essentially, in my diet, and also I have a fair bit of this stored up. Number one question people ask, oh, how long is the storage life? I want to say on average like 3 years. Just rotate it, okay? Like, there's a natural trade-off here. People are like, why doesn't it have long storage life? Because it's alive. All right, dead food lasts a long time. Live food doesn't. We want more live food in our life. Get this stuff, it's good. Take care of your nutritional needs. Take care of the whole person. Minerals, vitamins, good clean water. Make sure the whole person is taken care of, and you're likely to not have pneumonia. If you get a respiratory infection and it won't go away, you can't banish it, and it settles lower in the respiratory tract, here are the signs and symptoms of pneumonia. You have sudden chills and high fever. A cough that doesn't get better, or at least show good recovery progress after about 2 weeks, okay? Coughing up large amounts of very dark or even blood-tinged mucus, not a good thing. When you listen with your stethoscope, for instance, or if you're gonna go old school and just put your ear back to the back of somebody's back, hopefully it won't be a really hairy back, because that could be a little gross. You're liable to hear some nasty sounds. Basically, their lungs are filled with fluid. Instead of having nice Darth Vader-like sounds, it sounds a lot like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, okay? That's what you're facing when you're looking at somebody who is cooking pneumonia, okay? If you've got somebody at your location, somebody you're trying to take care of, okay, and you can't get them out to a doctor, your best bet is going to be keep that person hydrated, keep that person oxygenated as best as you can. And how do we do this? Have them do deep breathing and coughing, keep that head of the bed elevated, all right? If you can get them out and walking around and breathing some nice outside air that's not full of dust mites and nasties. Inside air is so gross. Get people out in the sunshine as best as you can, okay? And also make sure that you're feeding them warm nutritional broths, like fresh vegetable broths, bone broths, and also fresh juices. I'm a huge fan of juicing when people are sick. I think it is one of the biggest misconceptions we have, and like guilty as charged here, a nurse who's worked in the hospital, let's all raise our hand. What's the first thing that we try and get people to do whenever they're recovering from surgery or they're sick? You need to eat, you need to eat, you need to eat. Well, I mean, we get them to walk too, but the whole getting people to eat is not a good thing, okay? Calories are what we're going after here. But anytime you shove hard food into a digestive system, okay, it takes a lot of energy to turn that stuff from food into usable nutrients for the body. To bypass the digestive system, to give the person fresh vegetables and fruit juices, that's really going to be helpful, okay? Outside of conventional antibiotic therapy, okay, you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time here. So again, the best thing that you can do here is to prevent it with high quality fresh fruits and vegetables, nutritional supplements like Green Vibrance, a big fan here. But if you've got somebody who's cooking pneumonia, especially if it's a vulnerable person like one of your elders or a young child, especially an infant or a toddler that's not being breastfed, and I'm a big fan of breastfeeding toddlers, extended breastfeeding magically became more than 18 months, which is kind of silly in my opinion, because many cultures around the world have extended breastfeeding beyond 18 months, and their children are quite healthy for it. So I'm a big fan. Breastfeed the babies and toddlers. Definitely make sure people are hydrated and pay attention to their nutritional needs as well. There is so much more to this, guys. So much more than I can shove into a tiny 10-minute segment. This will probably be longer than that. I'm sorry, can't help it. The one muscle in my body that I'm always guaranteed that will move is my mouth, right? That and the brain, but I don't think the brain counts as a muscle, right? It's just a floating organ system inside of a bone. All right. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy the video today, please subscribe to me, Patriot Nurse, and also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. If you want to learn more about how to take care of your family, come out to class. Check out the website, guys. Medical Prep 101 and 201 are happening all over the country. The full schedule is there at the website, thepatriotnurse.com. Get yourself and a friend in class today. You will not regret it. We have a great time. We have awesome friends and people that come to class, and you'll stay in touch with them for a while. So I hope it was helpful for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And for now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.